All right, continuing with our You're Not Helping segment, we wanted to highlight Carly Fiorina. She's trying to sell herself as Silicon Valley's favorite candidate, but the GOP hopeful forgot to register her own website, carlyfiorina.org. She only registered carlyfiorina.com. And right now, carlyfiorina.org shows this: 30,000 emoticons of frowning faces, each one representing one laid-off worker from her time as Hewlett-Packard CEO. And joking about the gaffe, on Late Night with Seth Meyers, Carly purchased, of all things, SethMeyers.org, which now redirects to her own campaign website. So, touche, Carly Fiorina, to whoever is in charge of the tech candidates' websites. You're probably not helping Carly get elected. Now, while performing Saturday, embattled comedian Bill Cosby had to face down hecklers intent on disturbing his show. Cosby has been accused of sexual assault by many women over the last few months. Continuing with the comedy routines, maybe not Cosby's best choice. Sorry, Bill, you're continuing to perform, probably not helping your own legal situation. And former New York Knicks president Isaiah Thomas, former Detroit Pistons star, has been named the president of the New York Liberty. Isaiah, though, has a poor track record as an executive, leading the Knicks to some of its most dismal seasons in team history. Still not very popular because of that. Thomas has always had an ear of the Knicks owner, Jim Dolan, who just can't seem to let go of Thomas. I guess they're friends. Jim Dolan, according to one Knicks fan who is a producer, you're not helping the Knicks win, or the Knicks organization, or the WNBA team win any more games either.
All right, now time for a look at your global headlines. Secretary of Defense Ash Carter says setting up humanitarian zones for people in Syria requires the use of military personnel.
You would need to fight to create such a space, and then a fight to keep such a space, and that's why it's a difficult thing to contemplate, or challenging, to use your word.
U.S. defense officials believe it can be done, but warn it will come with a $250 billion price tag. Saudi Arabia offers a 5-day truce after carrying out weeks of airstrikes in Yemen. The announcement comes just one day after Secretary of State John Kerry met with officials in Riyadh.
Work is being done right now as we are here to define the precise details and the date of the commencement of this ceasefire.
But the Saudi government will only agree to deal if the Houthi rebels lay down their arms. Now over to Israel. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu continues to warn U.S. lawmakers about a possible nuclear deal with Iran. Netanyahu insists a deal would endanger the Middle East and the United States. And take a look at this video. Take a close look. A road worker in Russia seems to be a little tipsy on the job. You can see him kind of stumbling around as he tries to blow dust off the street, and another worker, there he is, trying to stop him, but the man resists, and nope, he just goes right back to work slowly. Oh, watch out. Watch out for that car. Not a good scene.
Man, especially dangerous. They're so close to the roadway like that.
Yeah.
You could just stumble right in and hit a driver.
I mean, those drivers, they were probably terrified that they were going to hit him.
Yeah, we were talking about Russians specializing in pain, and that is one example of that. Alcoholism in Russia is a huge problem.
Yeah.
And as the economic situation has gotten worse
That's not helping.
That is not helping the situation either.
And also, they may be hoarding gold.
To what Ty was saying about the Russian ability to deal with pain and misery, just Google the Battle of Leningrad and what they went through at the end of World War II there.
I don't know if I'd want to read that. Is it one of those where you're going to cringe?
Well, it was just some of the worst combat in modern history, and some of the coldest conditions you can imagine. And the Russians battled and defeated the Nazis, and they were allies back then. Things do change.
So if you want to hear about pain and agony, there was your sales pitch right there.
Right, didn't we say we were going to try to end the show on a lighter note today?
I know, I thought we were going to do that. And we're talking about death and destruction.
All right, we want you to stay tuned. We got much more coming up here on Newsmax TV today. We're going to be with you here for the next 3 hours or so, right here on Newsmax Now. Following that is Midpoint with Ed Berliner coming up at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. And, of course, that's followed at 5 p.m. Eastern Time by The Steve Malzberg Show.
And then after that, join the Daily Wrap at 7 o'clock. J.D. Haworth will be on at 8 o'clock with your Newsmax Prime, and Ed Berliner joins us again at 9 o'clock for the Hardline.
All right, big interview with Ed Berliner and John McCain coming up tonight.
Yeah,
so we'll talk about
that should
that
be interesting.
coming up here a little bit later as well. For the time being, we are going to take a short commercial break, but we're going to be back with some of the day's top stories coming up at the top of the hour. And also,
like those tornadoes going on in the Midwest.
Yes,
Oof.
that's right. And also folks in the Midwest and places like Oklahoma and Kansas under the threat of more severe weather today. So folks want to keep an eye on
I
that.
feel so bad. Oklahoma cannot get a break. It seems like every year they're dealing with this.
They call it Tornado Alley for a reason, don't
Yeah,
they?
they do.
All right, Newsmax Now, taking a short commercial break. We'll be right back with much more here right after this.